Welcome to Ruddy Duck Sailing Adventures. This episode is all about how we designed and built our custom sunshade. It was a very fun project, and we are stoked to have this piece of gear to help protect us from the elements on our adventures. It all started on a rainy day in the late fall. A new winter was right around the corner, and this would be a great time to complete some boat projects. I wanted to draw something that would provide shade during the hot summer months, but also have plenty of headroom in the cockpit and be able to shed water during the occasional rainstorm. This design would require support rods or battens to maintain an arched shape, and guy lines attached to certain points on deck. Also, a lifting point to elevate it off the boom to prevent chafe. With the sketch completed, it was time to get measurements, starting with the amount of arch that I wanted in the support rods. Next, I gathered measurements of the locations of tie-down points. In this case, we made use of existing deck hardware, requiring no new holes in the boat. With the measurements and sketch completed, it was time to call in a friend who does canvas work. He brought with him a ton of fabric samples, and after a while, we decided to go with the classic Sunbrella to give us a strong, water-resistant, but relatively lightweight material. Now it was down to picking a color. With so many options, it took me a few days to decide, but eventually settled on an earth tone called parchment. Next, I shared some of the ideas I had with Eric and what I was looking for. With a basic understanding of the project, it was now time to start building a template. We used a clear plastic sheet for our template material, and started by cutting a piece slightly larger than our final dimensions. Then we marked the center line down the whole length of the sheet. With the center marked, it was time to lay out the support rod locations. I had previously ripped some thin oak strips on a table saw and cut them to length. Each strip was different and designed to follow the contour of the boat. Then these were attached to the plastic using packing tape. We put the template on the boat to see how everything was lining up. Everything was looking very good, so we started introducing bend into our support rods to get the desired arch into the system. Having Eric over was such a blessing, and it was fun discussing ideas based on our different experiences. His knowledge of canvas came in very handy. We cut the sides down to their final dimensions and decided to go with a scalloped pattern. It doesn't offer as much coverage as straight sides, but man does it look cool, and it helps to keep the edges tight.
I mean, this is going to give you a good idea of how thick it's going to be, right?
Yeah, that's going to be it. So that's what I'm going to have to stow down below.
I mean, I think that's actually perfect.
It's going to fit really good in there.
Yeah.
So the idea is to go inside here and be able to stow it, along with whisker poles or anything of length. Awesome. The template was taken to the canvas shop and fabrication was started. When the basic shape was complete, we did one more test fit to see how everything was working before adding the final touches. Alright guys, so today's an exciting day. Got a call from my buddy Eric, and he said that the sunshade is ready to go. So we decided to meet out at the lake and do a test fit of it and make sure everything looks good. So we're heading out to Ponderay, and we're gonna do a little bit of a sail also. Got a little cabin fever going, so it'll be nice to do a day sail. It's a little chilly. It's early February, so Temperatures are, it says 28 right now, so we're just gonna bundle up and make the best of it. So see you on the water. All right,
set.
Got the goods. Awesome. Perfect. Wow, that looks so good, man. All right, we got Eric Nelson in the boat. What do you think so far?
Oh man, the Ruddy Duck's awesome. What a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Small boats are where it's at.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so before we go and set up this shade, how do you think everything went?
I think it went really well. And I was thinking about it on the drive up here. What I would say is it turned out really good because the guy that designed it did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you.
Like, I will not take any credit of that piece, right? If it turns out and works well, it's because you drew it, right? And really had a vision in your head about what you wanted it to look like and function, which is...
But it was definitely a collaboration. I mean, you had
sure,
some super good ideas that I hadn't thought of, and we kind of talked about it. And,
which is, I think, what makes it so fun, especially doing... Like, that's one of the reasons I love doing custom canvas work, is that idea of, like... I mean, I can have my idea of what I think works good, but it's the guy who's actually using it. Like, you bring to the table a lot of experience that you already know works, right?
Yeah.
So it is a collaborative piece, which is fun.
All right, so one more question. On this cover, how easy was it to produce, and do you think a DIY type of guy could do it?
Yeah, I mean, I just have to give a shout out to the Sailrite. Like, they get a lot of flack in the professional industry, right? But I sewed a lot of projects. I probably put 4,000 to 5,000 yards of thread through my machine, my little LSD one, and it still goes with me portable on projects. They have so many videos. I really think canvas work is something that pretty much anyone can do. I really do. It's just a matter of how acceptable is your level of finish that you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is totally doable by a DIY guy for sure.
And if they weren't interested in it and were around this area, would you be interested in sewing more of these?
Yeah. What I was hoping for is I still have the pattern, right? And we know kind of what the size of this is.
Yeah.
What would be cool is to put some together, like sew them, make them ready, mail them out even.
Oh yeah.
And then people can buy those fiberglass rods pretty much anywhere. I got some at Home Depot.
Yeah.
72 inches long. So
and they could be shipped too.
They can be
just
shipped, but I mean, for $5 or $7, I mean, just go buy them, cut them off, put them in, you're good to go. Yeah. I think it'd be fun.
And that size would pretty much fit any 15, 16, maybe even a 17-foot boat, really.
Yeah, and probably like it's going to be the center bows, right? And we'll show you that. That's going to be the limiting factor of how far out it's going to go. Right. But yeah, I think it's a reasonable thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's totally customizable too. So.
Yeah. It's not hard to change shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see after you beta test it for a while what you would change. Yeah.
Because there'll probably be something, and this is just the prototype, you know, basically number one. So it's inevitable we're gonna find something, but
something for sure.
But it looks really good as it is so far. I'm super excited to try it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased how it turned out. I think the color was a good choice too.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what people think of that. So if you don't like the color, leave it in the comments below and tell me what I should have done. But yeah, I think it's a good neutral color and should be good in the sun.
We went with Sunbrella, right, which is the classic coated acrylic material. There are others out there that are more abrasion resistant. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Color choice is a little less. We could do vinyl too. You could do a vinyl product, but I always feel like the vinyl is heavier and it tends to maintain moisture. And I knew you were going to roll it up and put it inside.
Right, and the Sunbrella is super light, and it does wear pretty well.
Yeah, it wears pretty well as long as it's not chafing.
And sheds water decently, so
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's fire up the motor and go to a dock so we can check this thing out.
Definitely pooped.
Yeah, because we don't have any wind anymore.
It's gone.
We're just bobbing out here. All right. And finally, the moment we've been waiting for, the very first time that the completed project was set up on the Ruddy Duck. The guidelines and attachment points will be refined in the future, but for now they are just lashed on so we can do some real-world testing and see if any adjustments need to be made.
So the design brief was for mostly sun, right?
Correct, yeah.
Obviously, rain will be shed,
Oh yeah.
right? But the goal was not necessarily to shed water outside of our cockpit.
Yeah, because it was mainly a sunshade, but it will work for rain.
For sure.
If we wanted more rain protection, you just have to elongate the bows and hang over the boat probably 8 to 10 inches.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted something compact, you know, and easy to set up and easy to store.
Yeah.
So I think we nailed it, man. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Overall, we are super happy with the way this project turned out. I cannot wait to set this up in a remote anchorage somewhere to get out of the sun or rain. I think it's going to make sitting in the cockpit so much more comfortable and really changes the feel of the boat in a good way. A huge thank you to Eric of Nelson Family Campus for making this possible.